Congratulations, you are under contract. This is an exciting and busy time. Always try to keep the end in mind as you are going through the process. This part of the process can be stressful if you're not prepared and if you do not understand it. There are some time-sensitive items that will need to be addressed, negotiated, and completed. And as your agent, I'll help negotiate repairs and keep track of time frames for you. So inspections. Having inspections done is the buyer's right. Paragraph 7 in the Oklahoma contract is very clear that the buyers and their inspectors have the right to inspect the property in a non-destructive manner. You will need to make the property accessible for inspection. Be sure that attic access and walls, including garage walls, are accessible to the home inspector. Also, be sure and keep utilities on until the day of closing. I cannot stress that enough. So who pays for the inspections? The inspector is chosen, scheduled, and paid for by the buyer. The inspector evaluates the home to determine if all the major and minor systems are working as intended. The systems include roof, heat and air, electrical, plumbing, foundation, and other interior and exterior areas, including the pool, well, septic, sprinkler systems, etc. The inspection usually lasts about 2 to 3 hours. The inspector will be accompanied by a licensed realtor or their assistant who will let them in. I will attend the inspection as well. I usually show up for the last hour and give the buyer time in the home without distractions. The buyer often attends the inspection as well. As a seller, it is strongly recommended that you do not attend. The Oklahoma contract says that if after the buyer inspects the home, he decides that he no longer wants the property, he can cancel the contract and get his earnest money back for any reason. Or the buyer will select items that he or she wants to be treated, repaired, or replaced and writes them on a treatments, repairs, and replacements report. You'll hear me call this a TRR. The buyer has until the end of the inspection period to send the TRR form. Once the TRR is received by me, I will review it with you in detail. We'll also get the associated inspection reports. Some repairs may require a licensed professional, while others may be okay with a handyman doing the work. I have a list of contractors that I work with and can make recommendations if you like. Be prepared. There may be some items that they ask to be fixed that you had no idea would be issues. These might be things that you think are no big deal or things that have never bothered you, but they may be important to the buyers. As the seller, you have the option to agree to all of the repairs or to counter the repairs list proposing to do less. Prior to making this decision, it's always a good idea to get some estimates for the repairs from the contractors. There are 2 benefits to having this done. It allows for a better understanding of the scope of work to be done and the importance of each item, and also gives us a gauge to negotiate the repairs simply based on cost. I can help you decide on a plan for repairs. I'll submit your acceptance or counter to the buyer's agent. Just keep in mind that if you counter the TRR at this point, the buyer has an opportunity to back out of the contract and get their earnest money back. The contract usually allows for 7 days to negotiate the repairs. Repairs are an extremely important part of the closing process. They will make or break a closing. Once repairs have been negotiated and agreed upon, time to get going on getting repairs done. The repairs must be completed prior to closing. I can help you navigate this process. I'm here to protect your interest and make sure that once the closing takes place, you walk away without any future responsibilities to the new owner of the property. And I'll be extremely candid and tell you if it is not in your best interest to do the repairs yourself. Even if you're a handyman, doing the repairs yourself can open you up to potential future issues as well as possible lawsuits depending on the items you've repaired. Once all repairs are completed, copies of any invoices and warranties will be sent to the buyer's agent and the closing company. Depending on the contractor, payment may be required upon completion of the work. And if this is not the case, you do have the option of adding those costs to the closing statement to be paid out of the proceeds of the sale. On the appraisal, the buyer's lender will arrange for the appraisal. The home must appraise for the contracted purchase price or more. If not, the lender will not lend on the home. If the home does not appraise, further negotiations will need to take place. As your agent, I, with your help, will put together some paperwork to help prove the price of the home to the appraiser. I'll meet the appraiser at the home to give him the paperwork and to point out any upgrades in the home, and to schmooze a little at the time. Appraisals can be very subjective. Appraisers do their best to provide a good price. However, some home prices can vary from appraiser to appraiser. The title company will need some information about you. Your lender name and contact information, loan number of your current home, and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. This helps them to get the payoff information so your loan can get paid off when you close. The title company will be bringing your abstract up to date and verifying that there are no liens or issues with the home or land. There are usually no issues here, but if there are, we'll need to work them out. At some point in the month, a surveyor will just show up at your home to do a high-level survey of the home and land. They do not need to enter your home. The buyer will be walking through the home prior to closing to be sure that all the repairs were done and to make sure that all things are as they expected them to be, with no hidden holes or missing items or anything like that. The home should be in the same or better condition as it was when the buyer saw it the first time. The buyer is also allowed to bring their inspector back for a reinspection. At closing, you need to be completely moved out of your home. Be sure to leave your home as clean as you would like it if you were moving in, or even better sometimes. If you are married, regardless of whether your spouse's name is on the loan or deed, your spouse will need to come and sign some documents at closing. Be sure to bring your driver's licenses and bring the keys and garage door openers because they are handed over at closing. Please provide any other information that you think the buyers would find helpful. Garage code, security code, and anything else you might think that they want to know. If you have a really great lawn guy you want to pass on, I'm sure that they would love that information. And if you're bringing money to closing, you'll need to bring it in the form of a cashier's check or money wire. These next 3 slides are just some moving tips, and you can pause this presentation and take a picture, but they're very helpful. Some tips. This first slide is one month before closing moving tips. And then the next slide, 1 or 2 weeks before moving, and the day before moving, and then on moving day, and a hint at your new home. Well, congratulations, you're almost through. We just have a few more things to do. I'll be here to walk through the process with you completely and answer any questions at any time. And for more information, please be sure to check out my website at myokhomesearch.com. I look forward to working with you and completing the sale.